Shalom, sweet people. I am Maker Strong. My Maker makes me strong, and I am on my way out the door. But I came by to give you guys a another installment of Celibacy is Easy, and um, I wanted to give you guys like a story time. All right, so can y'all see? It is so bright out there, right? It is so bright, and actually, like it's not cold, but it's very cool out here. And I know there's people like under 7 feet, 8 feet of snow and all that kind of stuff. And here I am talking about it's cool. But I mean, hey, that's the life I chose. So hey, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I wanted to give you guys story time. So story time, it was Mother's Day. And oh y'all, my lips are like super dry. Not me with the dry lips, but mm, mm, okay. Let me say it's good. Cracked up. Anyway, okay, so it was Mother's Day. And my mom was still alive, but it was during the time that she was undergoing her radiation treatments. And I was so overwhelmed financially because my ex was going through some stuff and he wasn't paying child support. So I was just dealing with the cost of everything. And it was Mother's Day. And I didn't really have that much money. And so, you know how Walmart usually has those packets of soap with lotion and all that stuff. And they usually have those gift sets around those times of the year. And I think mine cost like $8 because that was really all I could afford to part with. But I knew I wanted to give something to my mom. I mean, my mom and I had kind of a really strange relationship. And so did, my mom and both my mom and my dad had strange relationship with each other and then with me too. So it was like one of those, I felt like if I don't get her something, there was going to be something about that. You know what I mean? So even though I didn't have very much money, I went ahead and bought the soap set and I took it over there to her. And then she told me she couldn't use it because the soaps and lotions have chemicals in them. And like my mom literally had a hole in her breast, like a complete, like where the body is outside and inside, right? Um, so yeah, she couldn't have that soap. And I was angry. Not angry at her, because of course that would be completely crazy, but angry that I had spent the last little bit of money that I had on something for her and she couldn't use it. And I was irritated by the whole thing. And part of it was also like the triggering situation of like the relationship itself being how it was. And then on top of that, me contributing something to the program of Mother's Day with it not being accepted. And of course, she couldn't accept it. You know what I mean? It's like It wasn't that she was ungrateful. She couldn't accept it. She couldn't use what I bought for her. Maybe if I had bought something else, like um, that would have been more useful. Maybe if I would have communicated and asked her, look, I only have about $8. Is there anything that I can get you? You know, um, maybe. These are all things that are in the past, right? I can't do anything about them. But I can tell you guys, we're at the we're on the verge of gift giving season. And I've heard so many different people bashing other people because of saying that they're ungrateful because they, person A, went out and got something for person B without communicating with person B. And then the expectation that person A had, that person B was going to be like jumping out of their skin and being so excited and all that for the gift, right? Because it's a gift. And then, they might turn around and be like, but I can't use this. This is not my thing. I don't like it or whatever. Or I don't eat that or whatever, right? Um, it's ego that would make you upset. So for those who have been in my DMs on Facebook and saying different things about how do you know whether you're moving in soul or in ego, you're moving in ego if you have an expectation of how an outside thing is going to behave and you get triggered by something different than your expectation. That's how you know it's ego. And that's how I know when I go and I analyze things that have happened in my past, things that how I see the way that I was moving in ego. And like I can literally I can tell you guys, I wasn't angry at my mom. I was angry at the situation. I know myself and I know that I was angry at the fact that this was a few little dollars that I really didn't have to spend and it was gone. And it wasn't like, okay, we'll take it back to Walmart and get something else. It was kind of like it's like the deed is done. And like basically she was like, well, you use the soaps. I mean, you can use it. But I wasn't buying soaps for myself. I had plenty of soap. I had plenty of lotion. I didn't need more soap and lotion, right? It was just disappointing. But it was my ego that was disappointed. And what I should have done was communicated. Now I realize in the gift giving time, nobody really, you want people to be surprised and stuff like that. And that's fine. That's fine. But if you're giving a gift to somebody that you don't know well enough to know whether they should be having this thing or not, like I'll give you another example, donuts. Now, for a magnitude of reasons, I shouldn't be eating donuts. But one of the main reasons is because I'm not supposed to have bread. Like, I'm not. But I love eating bread. Okay? So I know within my body when I've had too much. So let's say, for example, you and I are friends, and you saw me eating donuts one day, and you thought, you know what, I'm gonna make her some donuts today. So you come and you try to give me the donuts, but that day is a day that I've decided I need to get away from anything sugary, and I definitely can't have any more bread. I've already outbreaded for my week. I've done too much bread because of my own body that I know and how I respond to it and how it's responding to me mainly. That's the big problem. Is I like bread. Bread doesn't like me. Okay. It's kind of like those eyelash things. They don't like me. Um, and that's okay. It's whatever, right? So if the person gave me the donuts and I was like turning them down, that person might get mad. But that person is only getting mad because their ego is hurt. Their ego is deflated from the expectation that they had that I was going to appreciate it. And maybe on a normal, regular day, I might appreciate it, but they haven't talked to me. They haven't communicated what they wanted to do. And so, like for a person like me, with the way my diet fluctuates, with the way that like I fast at the drop of a hat, I could be like yesterday I was eating, but now I'm fasting. Right now, I haven't been eating meat. Right, so there's another like story time I want to do about a cauliflower. Like it made me cry. It moved me so emotionally that the Father provided me beautiful. Oh man. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it right now. But it's like my point is that when you give a gift, yes, you might believe that the person that you give it to is going to enjoy it, right? But don't have that expectation so that you won't be angry, right? Realize that if you're giving somebody something to surprise them, maybe the surprise is going to be on you. And if you don't want that to happen, you might want to communicate with that person that you're doing this special thing for. And you don't have to tell them exactly what you're going to do, but you do need to get close enough to what you're trying to do to be sure that what you are trying to give them will be well received. Just like flowers, right? Some men will be like, um, well, I gave her flowers and she didn't even want them. Well, was she allergic to those flowers? Like, I'm allergic to some flowers, not all flowers, but I am allergic to some flowers. So I love flowers. I love them. I love roses. I love sunflowers, but certain other flowers I don't know. And I haven't had every flower to know what's making me sneeze or what's making me break out. You know what I'm saying? But things like that happen. I have I have a very sensitive system. So it's like, well, what do I give you? You talk to me because there's stuff that I want, right? But it's like, well, that won't be a surprise. But like, some people don't like surprise. I don't like surprises. I absolutely hate them. I don't care if they're a good thing. I don't like surprises. Like I hate with all my gusto surprises. Don't surprise me with. I don't mind change because change is inevitable, but don't surprise me because it's like, ew, this thing that you did came at the wrong time. But now I will say that cauliflower, that was, it touched my heart. It touched my heart. It was like only somebody who knows me would have done that beautiful thing for me. And I just like, it moved me to tears. And I'm like, it's a cauliflower. I don't want to tell the cauliflower. I'll tell the cauliflower story later. Anyway, my point, I got to go. But I just want to let you know if your expectation is disappointed, it's because you came at this whole thing in ego. And it's you that you need to check, not that other person. All right? Shalom.